Hello, Iskra. I'm glad to have you here. We will start our interview right now.
Hello, Raluca, and hello, all viewers. And the interview starts in a very unexpected way. So first, feel your feet, Raluca, on the ground.
Okay.
Move your shoulders and stretch your neck. And then make 3 breaths in a very funny way, as if you're grasping the air, like and then shake your fingers and then check your body and then relax. Now take 1-2 breaths just to calm down. And this is a mini complex that I'm using with my clients who need to release the stress before any speaking engagement, either on a big stage or in front of the camera.
It's the most playful start of an interview that I have in this series. Welcome. I am so glad to have you here in the I Am series of interview. It's a series that wants to have original, interesting people and to present them to our audience. And I invite you, the people that are watching, to take the insights and the good habits that you spot on our relaxed conversation and to bring them into your lives. And if you find something useful, something insightful, please click the link and also donate a small amount of money to the Hospital of Romania, which are in need right now. So we will start after this very relaxed, playful body talk. We will start with a challenge for you, Iskra. In 30 seconds, please tell us who you are.
Oh my goodness, 30 seconds. So who am I? I'm Iskra Petrova. I'm Bulgarian. I live in a very small village in Bulgaria, one of the most ancient villages in the world. And I'm a clarity and confidence coach, ex-film producer, graduate of computer science, master of science. And what else? I have 2 amazing sons with very big gap between them. And I love building communities, online and real life communities. I support thousands of people as a tribe ambassador. I don't know, did we have 30 seconds pass already?
Do you have more material? You can go. You can go over.
Yeah, my passion is communication. One of the things that I work on with my clients and with my audience is authentic communication. So I can always talk. I can always find something interesting, something that inspires me in the person in front of me. And it's always great to have someone you can connect with, which is also a trick when you have to speak with camera, to imagine that this is an eye of a person there so you can get the energy flow.
Beautiful. So how did you go from a master degree in computer science to being a clarity and confidence coach?
It's been a very long journey. So I graduated, I always had passion about mathematics and physics. And for me, mathematics was like something so spiritual. It was like philosophy. I loved it through all my school years. And then when I had my studies, I was really fascinated. And of course, there were boring things. There were these technical things, but I love linguistics. I love theory of probabilities, all these magical things, artificial intelligence. But then my journey took kind of unexpected turn, and I embarked into the field of advertising, strategic advertising, communication. After that, through the production of one very big commercial in Bulgaria many years ago, when I think it was just the beginning of this business in Bulgaria, I got fascinated by the film producing. Then I became a producer. I worked in Greece. I returned from Greece. I started my own companies. And through the years, I had also a parallel line of very deep transformational work on myself that started with some health challenges. I started realizing that producing, specifically advertising, is not really serving my soul purpose, because I was realizing that, okay, I'm getting better and better in the art of communication, in the art of manipulation, making people buy things that they don't need, because in most of the cases advertising is that. Of course, there is also a possibility to advertise, to present publicly very noble causes, but in this business of advertising producing, it's not the case. So I started doubting this, and there was a point when it didn't feel right. It didn't feel that didn't resonate with me, with my needs. And I started looking in other directions. And this has happened after I have been already 5 or 6 years on a very deep journey of exploration. I was attending Zen courses. I've been meditating for many years, and I was looking for my voice. And then I found, in a miraculous way, through being on a course of miracle manifestations in my life, one of the first guest speakers that was invited in this program was Lisa Nichols. And I got in love with her message. So I took her training about inspirational speaking. And then I saw that I have this ability to support people distress before speaking engagements, and this is in results of all the body work that I have been doing with martial arts and meditation. And here I came out as a coach who is supporting people, telling their stories, sharing their messages, finding their voice, but before everything, becoming fully aware on their own values, on their own power, that many people doubt, regardless of their prestige and position in life and their social status.
So the trigger for your transformation, what would you say it was your trigger?
The very first trigger for my transformation was a big health challenge about 30 years ago. It was the challenge of my partner, who had life-threatening condition, and there were many obstacles for him being treated in the hospital. So I had to mobilize all internal and external resources to make this possible for him, to save his life. And a year later, all the stress that I have been through manifested in a similar condition in my body. I manifested almost the same symptoms. And then I saw that there is this psychosomatic connection, because I didn't have the bacteria, I didn't have the virus, I didn't have whatever there was the cause of the disease, but all the symptoms were there. So I thought, okay, my mind or something, my subconsciousness, something is manifesting exactly the same challenge. And while I was in the hospital, I spent 3 months in a hospital, I started spontaneously manifesting healing. I started meditating without knowing that I was meditating. I remember as today, this very strong picture, this vision of little people who had these big wrenches, screwdrivers and other things. They were like dwarfs walking in my chest and fixing everything and healing me. And this was amazing. It wasn't something that I said, okay, now I'm going to visualize this healing process in this way. The only thing I was doing was I was telling myself, tomorrow is a better day. You're waking up with cleaner lungs, easier to breathe. You're waking up healthier, brighter, with more joy. And my subconsciousness or higher self, or whatever we call there, that is in power, brought this vision to me. And then I got curious and I started researching, and I started studying Qigong. I did Tai Chi Chuan. I even took part in a European Championship as contestant in 2004 in Russia. So it's been a long journey. And this was working first on my body, on the awareness, my physical awareness, until 2009, when I started consciously working also on my soul, with lots of healing, with lots of trainings, in energy work, in combinations of body work, different types of therapies. So yeah, very long journey. with several triggers. But yeah, this was the first one. This illness, this challenge with the health was a big trigger for me.
During this journey, was it very clear from the beginning for you that this was your way?
I don't think that it has ever been clean like what unfolds. I think what, like many people, sometimes we don't see obvious things and we wait for our body to knock us down and to tell us stop, take a moment, breathe, check what's going on. Does it serve you or not? And for me, it was similar. What I learned to do is I learned to connect with the present moment, and this happens through many years of meditation and practices. Just learning to connect with the sensation, to connect with the environment, to connect with myself, to open space for silence. And as some of the spiritual leaders and also the wise people from the Eastern traditions, they call it, the Zen masters, open space for the silent observer. Because when you learn to quiet your mind and to stop the thoughts, then you realize that there is something else that is noticing what's going on. And when we realize that, then we start questioning, okay, so who is in my head there? And is it in my head, or is it behind or beyond, or where is this silent voice that is noticing? Where is this silent presence that is observing everything that's going on? So I still, no, I think I connect with the moment. I see clearly, but I don't structure long ahead my plans, because I love to be authentic and to be connected with the moment, because there are so many factors that we cannot control. And for us to be authentic, we have to react authentically to the present reality that is unfolding in front of us, because we are also co-creating together. The way we are co-creating with you, you're bringing out the questions, and these questions, they kind of emerge from the conversation. We're not following strict agenda. So this is the answer to the question, how do I see ahead of me? Maybe I see one long, I don't know if I have a feeling of a target, of a goal, or I have just a general understanding of a purpose. But which one of the all possible roads will lead me there? They're not clear, and I just don't want to create these expectations and to try to establish in my mind, because I love to be alive in every moment, on every step that I'm taking.
Iskra, how did you think that metaphorical image or vision of the workers inside your lungs with all the tools emerged? How did you think you created it, or what spotted it?
I didn't understand that. I mean, what is the metaphor of my work? I didn't get that.
No. When you were in the hospital having that lung problem, you said you had an image of the workers inside yourself, which were repairing your lungs.
Yes.
What do you think has created that image, that vision?
This image, how it came up? What I believe was happening, and I have lots of I don't know, proof or evidences about that. When we connect with our body and with our essence, with our energy, when we are very clear with our intention, I think we get in touch with some other spaces, some other, I don't know, reality maybe, or other expanded parts of our bodies, our energy bodies, because there is also this theory that we're not just the physical body. We have different layers, different energy bodies. And this picture, I believe, was brought to me by my mind to notify that there is a healing process there. And my mind created this idea that I could understand, because if my mind would show me, I don't know what's actually going on, maybe atoms or cells rearranging or whatever that was happening, it wouldn't be convincing to me, and I wouldn't know that healing has started taking place. And I think this is here the proof that our lives consist of different stories. My mind created a story that was presented to me that looked so amazing, and it made me memorize it. It also made me believe it. And this is also valid for many other situations. We have a story of fear, we have a story of hope, we have story of other evolution of events, and we believe that because we have grown up as humans through storytelling. Storytelling is alive in humanity for how many? I think since humanity, since first people exist, they have been storytelling around the fireplace, stories to put children to bed, stories to inspire or to threaten someone, so they take all measures of safety, like the Brothers Grimm stories, to make children not go on their own in the dark woods. So storytelling is very important, and we function through stories.
And you mentioned you use with your clients the power of transformative storytelling. How do you?
Yes. What I do, how I use it. The first thing that I support my client is to make them understand and absolutely clearly and confidently believe in their own power, to believe that they have value and their life experiences are enough for them to open up and start sharing their stories. Because even the top level speakers and influencers, they have these moments when they start doubting, oh yeah, but I don't have qualification in this particular thing, why would this thing matter? Or I haven't done this and that, why people would believe me? So what I do is I help people see some important events in their life journey, like this story with the hospital for me. I help them see these events and see all the potential for transformation and for healing, maybe for their clients. So when they see that, I help them take an outside look at their lives and see that, yes, they have made some achievements, which means that now they can support someone who is 1 or 2 steps behind and has yet to go through this challenge. Then I help them create a story following different models of the hero journey, so that it's memorable and the viewers, the audience, can connect with them. And this is how a transformational storytelling is born. And
So it's
everyone has that,
their own
stories.
story, their own journey,
Absolutely.
with that arch of transformation which is presented to their public.
Absolutely. And the transformation on first place happens for them, because when they see this hero journey, they say, wow, it is true, I have been through this challenge and I managed to mobilize my intuition, my determination, my perseverance, all my knowledge. I chose to seek help and I learned and I went on this quest and I got out successfully. I discovered these treasures, all the elements of a hero journey, and even we do different variations of that. And then they are very confident because they see, yes, I have done something significant. Even until now, I was not considering myself anything special. So I show them that they don't need to have very big qualifications, that they don't have to have all these diplomas and many years of training. It is enough to acknowledge their own life experience so that they can help someone right now with everything that they already have.
Mm-hmm. And when someone comes to you and wants to find a meaningful life, wants to find maybe purpose in life, how can you guide them to have clarity in this direction?
So when someone comes and needs some clarity, how we start is we first we review what's going on in their lives right now. And very often people have some idea and they say, oh, I need more clarity about how I need to proceed with my professional life. But when we do this inventory of all the aspects of their life, I use some popular coaching tools. One of them is the Wheel of Life, but I have adapted it to the needs of the confident person. Then we realize where is actually the thing that is bringing everything down. And very often we see that the problem is not that you have not chosen the proper career. The problem is that you lack confidence and you don't want to present yourself in the way to show all your knowledge and all your talents. So we check that. I work with these two things, the clarity and the confidence. We get clear on where we are at the moment, where we choose which is the priority for this present period of the life of the client, and then we make a plan how to get to the desired picture that we also establish. And I help my clients feel in their bodies how it feels for them to be really successful, to be really confident, to really have amazing relationship. I work a lot with the body.
Mm-hmm.
Through body awareness, we support the mind, because when we stay in the mind, then things can get very confusing. The mind always tries to help us, to save us, and creates funny stories sometimes.
We have to check those stories.
Yeah.
How would you define energy?
Oh, wow. How do we define energy? I think energy is one of the axioms, that is something that is given and undefinable. Because if we know what is energy, then we will resolve so many things in our lives. When I talk about energy, I will just give examples, because I cannot create a definition, but I can give example. The energy of a smile, the energy of feeling connection with someone, or also the energy of not feeling in resonance with someone. How would you expect why we like from first glance a person or we dislike someone else? I believe that we have all this invisible field around us. We walk like in a bubble that doesn't have a limit. And when we connect, when we have these two bubbles or balloons without surface, then we feel this chemistry, or the opposite. And I was thinking about this topic last year, I think, how the cats, I don't know if you know, I think it's popular worldwide, this notion that cats go to people who have some illness and lay. Let's say if someone has problem with the shoulder, the cat will come to the shoulder and will start purring. I believe that maybe they sense, or maybe they see the color of the energy, and that's why they're attracted exactly there. I don't have any confirmation.
Even if you have a sorrow or a tough day, they come and
yes, they come to you and calm you down.
Quiet feeling, cat feeling.
Yes, yeah, absolutely.
So when you use the energetic technique, do you have energetic techniques that works on yourself, and probably you have energetic techniques that are working on your clients? How is it different to work on with energy on yourself and on other persons?
I have done several trainings with energy healing modalities. I don't practice them to my coaching clients, but I support my clients to find relief or to self-help themselves using breathing, using grounding, using what we did in the beginning of this conversation, shaking and just releasing the energy, visualization, because I believe that, again, back to the question of energy, our thoughts, they have energy. And when we intend to release and to heal, we support our body and our body follows these instructions. So this is the type of energy work that I do with my clients. But I have certification as a Bowen therapist. I have several levels of Reiki, Reiki knowledge, Reiki skills. I'm trained as energy reading in chakras, chakra balancing. I'm practicing lots of other modalities. but I'm not an energy healer with the sense that I would go to a client and I would offer, let me balance your energies. My place is, and this is how I find it working very powerfully and gratifying for me as well, is to support people to find their own power to grow and to heal themselves. So I create this safe space, as coaches do, and I support the clients to go further. I don't work on the past healing traumas, although working with storytelling can have a very healing, very profound effect as well.
So
what I do is visualizations, I record, I guide meditations, I also lead intention setting sessions for collective healing, because I believe that the power of our mind can contribute, can benefit communities, not just one person. So this is what I do.
When you train someone to communicate in a very engaging and authentic way, how would you inspire them to charge their thoughts, their big ideas with energy, and to transmit them in a very persuasive and very straight going to the target, the public?
I will tell you what is my approach. I first help people connect with their own needs, because all starts from ourselves. We cannot try to convince someone else in whatever if we ourselves don't believe in that, if we don't feel complete, if we don't feel well. And I help people get in touch with their present needs at this very moment, and we start even first with emotions. How do I feel at the moment, and where in my body I feel any pressure or any tension, or is there stiffness in my neck, whatever there is. So I help them connect with that, and also see, is there any emotion that comes up? Is there any color? Is there a smell to this? What is the body sensation? What the body wisdom tells us about this particular moment? So when we work with that, then we realize, okay, I have all this problematic situation because my need to, let's say, to have space to express myself is not met, because the people to whom I want to express my feelings, they don't create this space for me. So I feel oppressed, and this oppression manifests in sore throat or something else. So we start working on that to get this relief, and then we start searching for what is the best way for me to express this need and to request these needs to be met. And there is a process to teach people how to express their needs and how to request meeting their needs, because we all are born with needs, with physical needs, with emotional needs, needs to be accepted by society, needs to speak up, needs to be healthy, needs to be safe, to be protected. So, and then when we get in touch with that, it's not anymore a matter of speaking to convince other people into something. It's, for me, the topic is speaking so that our voice, our message is heard and people receive our message. And on the other hand, we receive how our audience reacts to us. So it's about connecting. It's always about connecting and feeling what are the needs, my needs as a speaker and the needs of my audience.
So maybe I should ask you then, how would you encourage someone who wants to express himself and to speak to great audiences? How would you encourage him or her to connect to the public, to use that energy and that field to get closer to the people who are listening to his voice?
Okay, so what I would encourage the speaker who has, let's define what kind of fear the speaker. Let's say this is a man who has something very important to say, but he's so shy and afraid because he has not been on stage for so long time, and because maybe he has to speak on a new topic. Let's make it clear, let's make it more particular. So we have this person who needs to do that, and we start with the question, what are the fears? What exactly this person fears in their body? And let's work on eliminating that. Let's release the stress for the body. Let's work on the origin and release it through breathing, through shaking. Sometimes a memory from the past can come up, a memory from school years, like someone, maybe this person was speaking something as a child and a teacher or a parent told them, what is this stupid thing that you're saying? This is not right, you better shut up, or whatever there is. So there are these blocks that are not always present, they're invisible, but they manipulate us in our reactions. So we work on that. If we have longer time, I mean, let's say if we have a couple of weeks, if we have just half an hour, as it has happened with me, I have had clients like that. We stop the mind, we do the breathing, we clear the body of all the energy, of all the air, the stagnant air that has been there. And starting with a complete clean plate, we ask the question, okay, you have this message, right? Do you believe in this message? Do you feel authentic saying that? Or you put it because you think that this is the right or prestigious thing? So we come down to something really authentic that the person is really passionate about, because you can always sense it when someone is passionate about the things that they speak or not, or they're fake. So we distill it very quickly. What is the passion? What is the key point of this future talk? And then I ask this person, okay, imagine you have now your audience and there is just one person there whose life will be changed after they listen to you. Will you stop yourself coming out and sharing your speech, your talk, your story, your inspirational moment? Or you will just go straight for that because you know that this life will be saved today? Because there are really cases when one sentence, one idea may save someone else's life. So when I help my client visualize this ideal listener, one person there, then it helps them also get more clear on the message that they want to share. Mm-hmm. So it's all about connecting, first connecting with themselves. And when people learn to connect with themselves and be authentic with themselves, not hide about their fears, because for many people, the thought of learning about their fears is very painful. It's more painful than the problem itself, than the fear itself. So people are stopped working on themselves because they're afraid that they will touch on something very painful. But we don't need to do that. We can just breathe. We can release the energy through different exercises, visualizations, and no need to this traumatic, sometimes very long, like therapy work to be done. I like to work in an easy, effective, and straightforward way, very direct way, to have direct and easy results with people. And I believe all of us, we can do that because our bodies are so powerful.
How would you where do you find the authentic core in someone? How would you help someone dig and find that authenticity?
I help people find the authenticity when I help them remove some layers or some lies or some impressions that have been created throughout the years. We all go through certain formation in order to be able to function in society. And when you look at the children, when the children are little, they're so natural. They don't stop. They don't think whether they're going to say the right thing. They're just in this very moment. They act as they are, absolutely naturally, absolutely authentically, until we teach them, oh, you shouldn't be picking your nose in front of people, or you shouldn't be doing that, or you have to be quiet. So we put all these layers of our society, and then for some people, it's been also for me, we forget who we are. So when we start coming back to our nature, coming back to trusting my intuition. This is a very big thing, to trust your intuition, to get in touch with your intuition. Then you're getting in touch with yourself. But for many people, it could be a very long journey to learn to trust the gut feeling. So that's why I use the body, because the body gives us signals. We learn to listen to these signals, and we learn to understand that, yeah, this really makes sense for me. This is good for me, and this is supportive for me. This other thing is not nourishing. I shouldn't be going there. And when people invite me to go out to a nightclub and I feel like staying at home, okay, let me trust my feeling and let me be brave enough to say, I don't want to be there because my body or my mind needs this space in this time. And this is very authentic. And for some people, it is scary to say, because they think I will not be accepted by my friends, and what my friends are going to say about that, right?
Mm-hmm.
So learning to get connected with our needs, this is what is the first thing, the first step to authenticity. And then learning to express ourselves authentically, but also respecting the other people's needs. Because when we understand that the other people, they act in their best possible way in this particular moment, even if they hurt us, even if what they do doesn't look good, when we know that they do it because this is the best they can do at this very moment, then we get this deeper understanding. And the empathy opens space and opens ground for better communication. So be authentic, but at the same time more understanding to others, and at the same time learning to put uh, to defend or to preserve our boundaries, because we may get lost in thinking, okay, they're rude, but this is because they were brought up like that, and it doesn't mean that we have to tolerate behavior or bad communication towards us because we understand why this has happened.
And when you mentioned your moments of connecting to that silence inside you, or do you have during your day moments of focus on your intuition, or scheduled energy clearing, or
Yes, yeah.
how would your day look like regarding your techniques?
I will tell you what is my routine, because I have my regular practices that I've been doing, some for more, other for less years. I start my day with a breathing breathing protocol, which is about 22 minutes. And it's both cleans my body, but also cleans my lungs from the night, but it also recharges me. And there is also very powerful visualization there. And it's the Soma breathing technique. And I can share more information about it later. In the morning, for already 25 years, I do a simple 15-minute Qigong exercise, which is Tai Chi Qigong practice, which just puts body in motion, but apparently it has very deep effect on the nervous system. And each of these exercises has healing properties, and they're being used in different situations. And also I found different healers, different therapists, different speakers, and big teachers, spiritual teachers, or natural holistic healers use them. And at the end of the day, what I like to do is I imagine that I'm clearing my body. I imagine white shower, white light that is cleansing my whole body. And it happens also when I take a shower. I can also visualize that. And I make a very quick review of my day before going to bed. And something else that I do in the morning that I forgot to mention is I do my gratitude journaling. I mean, it's a complex complex of several things that includes gratitude, but I also write down in my journal, what am I excited about today? What am I grateful for today? What is my focus? What is my exercise? And then I structure the priorities for my day. So this is my morning. That takes about 1 hour. 22 minutes is the breathing, about 20 minutes is the Qigong, and then I have the journaling and the focus. And yeah, these are kind of mental, energetical elements of my routine. Plus, I like to nurture myself in the morning. I drink warm water with honey and vinegar, and this is the first thing that I do in the morning. And then I make green smoothie with spirulina, nut milk, and a bit of honey. So this is how I get my day
Energized.
energized.
And
yes.
Speaking of gratitude, what is one thing in your life for which you are most grateful for?
It's very difficult to say one thing.
One, the most fulfilling, meaningful experience of your life.
I'm very grateful for my children because I learn a lot through them, and I see myself, I mirror myself in them, and it's a constant, especially now. I mean, of course, it's been with my older son, but with my little one now, I have reasons every day to be reminded of how present am I for his life, for my life, how am I as parent, how am I just as a person communicating with another person. And I'm very grateful to see how he's accepting the nonviolent communication principles, and he's expressing himself in a way that that I'm very, very happy to hear the clarity he's stating already very eloquently his needs, although he's just 7 years old. So I believe we can teach these principles from very early age. Mm-hmm. So yeah, this is an inspiration. This is something that I'm very grateful about.
And from all those experiences until now, what was the most challenging moment for you?
The most challenging moment was this moment with the health challenge of my partner back then. This is something that was really, I felt in the beginning absolutely helpless and hopeless, and it was in the pre-digital era. There was no internet, there was no telephones, and it was a matter of life or death. So it was like mobilizing resources beyond what I could imagine. That's why I think I had this like post-traumatic effect and the stress that was manifested in my body a year later.
And you succeeded to help even your partner, or you took that,
yes, my partner.
that part of self-healing and getting
the
into
challenge,
energy.
Yeah, the challenge was about his life, and he was taken to hospital in a very bad state, and 2 days later he was returned back home, although he was not improving because his papers, he was a political immigrant in Bulgaria, and his papers were not in order. So he was just returned home, and I still remember as today the doctor who brought him home, who said, "Come on, girl, don't you see he's dying? Why don't you go and get another man?" And I was still with my little kid. He was 3 years old with me, and my body remembers this shock. And I didn't have any time to be afraid. I didn't have any time to doubt. I just had to take actions. I had to find money to pay the rent, so we stayed there. And then I had to find sponsors to get the medicines that were not available in the country. I had to go and speak with United Nations High Commissioner for Refugees. I had to speak with Red Cross, with the head of police department, so his papers were sorted out. And so many things that happen in 3 days. And when I look back, I kind of don't believe, I don't know how this was possible, as if really time was stretched to make all these things possible. But I'm very grateful for this challenge because it showed me what is the power of being present in the moment, not think about the past, not regret about mistakes that were made, not think with fear about the future, but just be connected with the present moment and check what is my best step, my best action right now. And this is what I obviously have been doing, although it feels like a dream. I can't really feel how this happened. I just remember 1 or 2 things, staying with my little boy in front of the police officer's cabinet, and all the rest is like, you know, faded away.
So you charged with an incredible mobilization and action from being present, and you
Yeah.
were able to go to that positive end and to arrange
Yeah,
all things in order all to be good in the end.
absolutely, yes.
How can we use presence in non-life-threatening situation, in day-by-day situation, in being creative, in inspiring and communicating with authenticity?
We can practice authenticity in everything that we go through. We can practice being authentic in the way we enjoy life, and we can be present for in our daily conversations, like when someone is talking to us, and instead of us thinking about, oh, I have to do this shopping, or I had to make all these phone calls, let's switch off this, and let's all this chatter in the mind, and let's just connect and give 1 minute, 30 seconds, and be present for the person that is in front of us. It's very powerful because we learn, when we start cultivating this, then it becomes our first nature. I don't say second nature, because our nature is to be that. And connecting with people, appreciating moment, connecting with nature. So many people live in beautiful spaces or live with huge gardens, and they don't appreciate it because they're all the time in their minds. Connect with all the spaces, all the moments that are presented to us. And for me, what was helping me when I started on this journey many years ago, I had very vivid memories from my childhood when I was going to school in the morning. And I remember how the bright sky, the strong sun, I still remember the color of the green leaves and the song of the birds, and my body remembers that. So I loved to go back to this connection with nature, with my environment, and bring this habit back to my busy life. Because when I was working as a producer or as advertising executive, it was absolutely crazy. I mean, it could be weeks on autopilot and busy doing things and deadlines and shoots, and coming home like dead from being tired and exhaustion. So connecting with all the moments that are strong in us, all the positive memories, help us cultivate this. And then with the practice, it becomes something very, very easy to follow. And this is one of the reasons about the practice. I started this journey, 66 days of inspiration, that I'm coming live almost every day, to bring little moments of mindfulness to people in order to take this opportunity and in 66 days to cultivate a new habit of being more present and more mindful, more aware of ourselves, of our emotions. And the
I just lost you. It will take a while probably until you come back. So I will just invite our listeners now to think about how can you be more present in your life, in your daily moments, and how can you put the chatter of the mind on silence for having that habit of being connected to yourself, to your nature. And now that the internet connection has been lost, I will just thank Iskra for being with us today, for being connected to you, and for bringing us this incredible energy and openness and authenticity in her journey. And I will invite you to take into your life, if you find something that is relevant for you, that you resonate with, that is like Iskra said, a bubble that connect to your bubble, and make the bigger bubble of together. So take what you find insightful in this interview, apply into your life the moments of silence, the moment of connecting to nature, to your intuition, and of being present. And please click on that link and donate a small amount of money for the hospital in Romania, which are in need. I am very glad to have had this interview, and I wish you all a very good day. See you soon. Bye.